Katie. Thanks for sending your question. So we're doing question number 32, and we want to find one of the factors of this expression that we've been given. There's a couple ways we can do this. We can use polynomial division and try and divide each of these out and see if they divide out evenly. That's going to take a lot of time. Or we can just try to factor the expression, which may be the quicker route. So let's try that. So we are going to be factoring this actual expression using my favorite method. It's called the star method. It works in all cases, and it is especially useful in cases where you have a number other than 1 in front of this x squared term. So this is kind of the template. What we're going to do is we're going to take the first number, meaning the number in front of the x squared, and multiply that by the last number, meaning your constant over here at the end. And we're going to put that in our first triangle. So let's go ahead and do that. So 14 times -6, this is definitely a calculator problem. 14 times -6 is -84. So we're going to be putting -84 in our top triangle here. In our bottom triangle, we're going to be putting this second number. If there are negatives in front of the number, they're part of the number as well. So make sure to include those. So down here we have our second number, -5. Up here on the sides, we're going to be putting the first number and the first number only. So you're going to be taking the coefficient of this x squared term, 14, and placing it in both of these triangles. Now down here you see I have labeled this factors. We're going to have to figure out what those factors are. And once we figure out what those factors are, we're pretty much just going to have our expression factored neatly, and everything should pop out nice for us. So our goal now is we need to find two numbers that multiply to -84 but add to -5. So let's go ahead and write down -84 here. We are looking for two numbers. 84, it's a large number, it's an even number. My first guess would be to try and divide it by 12. So if you divide 84 by 12, it does indeed divide out evenly, and 12 divides into 84 7 times. Of course, we're dealing with a -84 here, so we're going to have to figure out which one of these terms is negative. Well, we want the terms to have a difference of -5. So if we put the negative on the 12 and we add them together, -12 plus 7 is indeed -5. So these are two terms that multiply to -84 and add to -5. So these are the terms that we're going to be placing in these triangles that are labeled factors. They are our factors. It doesn't really matter which side you place them on. I'm going to go ahead and put the -12 over here and the 7 over here. Now here's where this becomes really convenient. We're done with this part now, and we're only going to pay attention to the sides. We're going to reduce these numbers and pretend like they were fractions. So if this were a fraction, if I had the fraction 14 over -12, I could reduce this to 7 over -6. Make sure you keep that negative on the bottom there if that's where it is initially. Over here on the right hand side, I could reduce this to 2 over 1 because 7 goes into 14 twice and 7 goes into 7 once. So these are the numbers that we're going to be using to get our factors. So once you've reduced, take this top number, go ahead and put an x next to it. Same thing with the reduced number on the right hand side. Go ahead and put an x next to it on the top number. Now instead of writing these vertically, we're going to write them horizontally. 7x and this is minus 6, so we can put that there. Then we're going to make another parentheses and do the same exact thing, 2x, and this is a positive 1, so we're going to be putting a plus there, plus 1. This expression factors into these two factors. So let's go ahead and double check these against your answers to see which one we're going to pick. It looks like you have a 7x minus 6 as your D choice, so D would be the correct answer in this case. Thanks again for your question, Emily, and I look forward to answering more of your questions using Snap Math in the future.